I'm Ani Crocker, class of 2018. Welcome to This Week in SEC Sports.
1, 2. Don't stop your dreaming. Let yourself float upon an ocean. We can work it out.
Welcome to This Week in SEC Sports. I'm your host, the voice of the Saints, Brandon KARAM, SEC class of 2020. This week we start with cross country. The Saints swept Mechanicville in both boys and girls on Tuesday. The boys won 15-45. Kevin Cronin, Cade Nawad, Griffin Day, Mike Callaghan, and JP Tagliafiero taking the first 5 positions over the finish line, followed by Mike Tagliafiero and Zach Zanella. The Lady Saints won 19-42, with Katie Weston first, Maddie Ronan third, Kristen Mayer fourth, followed by Laura Kenny, Teresa Hajos, Sabrina Johnson. The Modified were led by Katie Cronin in first and Danielle Gill in fifth. In girls varsity soccer, Saratoga Central Catholic ended their regular season with a 3-2 road victory against Whitehall on Thursday. Megan Schmidt scored 2 goals. Kristen Mayer scored 1 goal and had 1 assist. Lauren Mayer and Mari Shaw each had an assist. Saints girls ended their season 11-5, a new school record. The sectional schedule is due to be released on Tuesday. Recently in varsity golf, the Saints came up 3 lipped-out putts from claiming the Section 2 Class CD golf title. HOOSIC Falls claimed the team title with a score of 343. Canajahari was second at 345, and the Saints were third with a 346. The Saints were led by Terrell Tillman's 83, followed by Ben Scammell's 85 and Jay Flynn's 86. That qualified all 3 golfers to advance to states. Terrell qualified for a second state tournament. This past Friday, Terrell needed an extra hole to advance to Saturday's final round. His drive bounced into the hazard on number 10, putting pressure on his approach shot. He 2-putted for a bogey, but it was good enough to advance to the second day of qualifying. Tuesday in girls volleyball, the JV and varsity hosted Corinth at the Broadway gym. The JV took straight sets 25-12 and 26-24 for the victory. Here are JV head coach KAYLA O'Donnell's thoughts on the match.
They played really well. They could have played a little better in that second set, so it wasn't so close, but they pulled it out and got a W today, so that's great.
Is the team performing to the expectations that you hoped?
I think they've shown a lot of improvement. Our record isn't great, but we're in a new league, and it's a building year. They've never played together before. A lot of young girls on the team, but I think they've improved an awful lot since the beginning of August.
The varsity was also successful in 3 straight sets. Kennedy Murphy had 8 aces and 3 kills. Grace Fornalby added 9 kills, 2 blocks, and 12 digs in the win. Elise Browell had 10 assists. Here's what head coach Maria Eisel had to say.
We had a 4-day layoff, and I gave the girls a long weekend. We were a little slow coming out. They played good, and they could play better. Not trying to be negative here, but I think once we get back into the groove of things, we'll be doing better.
You have a match tomorrow also. How do you feel about playing back-to-back games?
We're okay playing back-to-back games. It's our first time doing it, so maybe you should ask me that tomorrow night.
On Wednesday, the ladies traveled to Waterford. The JV split the first 2 sets before taking the last for a 2-1 victory. The varsity was also successful 3-1. The girls took the first 2 sets before losing the third, forcing a 4th set. A 25-14 score secured the victory. Friday, another road trip took the girls to Wasserman League opponent Cambridge. The JV came away on the short end 2-0, while the varsity had better luck winning 3 straight sets for the 3-0 victory. Here's what's on tap for this week. Wednesday in boys soccer, the Modified traveled to HOOSIC Valley. The varsity hosted HOOSIC Valley at the North Side Rec. The boys continued to struggle to find the back of the net. The Saints had over 5 clear breakaways and just couldn't capitalize. HOOSIC Valley's keeper stood his ground and had a great game. In the 20th minute of the first half, the Saints were awarded a corner kick, and Jack Munn found a way to bend it home, putting the Saints up 1-0. But the score would stay for the rest of the half. In the 79th minute, Valley had a nice run and pulled the trigger to tie it up for the Indians. With a minute left in the first overtime, Valley sent a ball up the center and placed it hard in the lower 90, catching Spot Catholic's goalie off guard and securing HOOSIC Valley's win. Friday, the Modified hosted HOOSIC Falls, which resulted in a 3-0 victory, and the varsity traveled to HOOSIC Falls and continued to struggle with a 4-2 loss. Saturday, the varsity hosted Tamarack at the Northside Rec. This was the season-ending game for both schools. Spokane came up on top with shots on goal, but failed to capitalize. At the end of regulation, the game was 0-0. Boys looked more eager to play overtime minutes, but with 5 minutes left in the first overtime, Tamarack was rewarded with a penalty kick and they were able to convert, thus handing the boys another disappointing loss. Here's Coach Simpson.
The boys played well. They played their best game of the year. It took 16 games for them to do it, past 2 interviews. I told you guys we needed to play 80 minutes. They played 80 minutes today, but it's too bad the game had to go past 80 and we just couldn't pull it through.
Although the boys had a tough year, the school should be proud of their effort. After the break, our talk with SEC boys soccer captain Jack Munn.
At Saratoga Central Catholic School, we pride ourselves in helping each student reach their highest potential. Saratoga Central Catholic students grades 6 through 12 prepare not only for college, but for lifelong learning. You'll see students engaged in AP courses, team sports, fine arts programs, and many clubs and activities. All students have the ability to participate in AP courses and extracurricular activities. Schedule a tour today and learn more about this great opportunity for your child. Visit us at saratogacatholic.org or call 587-7070.
I'm Matthew TERLECKEY, class of 2020, and welcome back to This Week in SEC Sports.
Welcome back to This Week in SEC Sports. This week's guest is soccer captain Jack Munn. Jack, thanks for coming on the show this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. And your first question today is, how did you prepare for this year's soccer season?
Well, Brandon, I started out in the summer, going for as many runs as I could, and playing as many pickup games as I could, trying to get extra touches in, just getting ready.
As a captain, what role have you assumed this year?
Mainly trying to help the younger kids and everyone else succeed and get used to the program and how we play.
Although the team has struggled this year, do you find your play getting better as the season progresses?
Yeah, of course. We started out in McCannville, lost 8-1, and since then, almost every game has been a 1-goal advantage for the other team usually at halftime. And we're starting to switch from just booting the ball as far as we can to our athletes, Connor and Zach, and now we're starting to string a couple passes together and actually have an organized attack.
The team this year is fairly young. How do you expect the team to do in the future?
I think we'll get better every year. I think some of the freshmen right now are going to get a lot more touches, get more experience, and hopefully next year and the following be great athletes and help our team tremendously.
Do you play soccer year-round?
Yeah, I do. I play club soccer in the winter and spring and pick up all through the summer.
Jack, thanks for being on the show this week.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Anytime. Episodes come out weekly on YouTube, so stay tuned.